it is Usugami paper. Take 26. Action.
This is a paper that is made by Yasutomo, and you're familiar with that name because they're the same company that manufactures the 9x12 rice paper that we use all the time. This is not quite 9x12, but the difference here is it's very lightweight. It's only 14 GSM. It's super thin, and it's transparent. And you'll see Elizabeth show you this. It's very translucent. I said transparent. It's very translucent right out of the package. But when you add gel medium to it, it practically vanishes.
Yeah.
It's amazing stuff. Not only that, and I'm going to mention this kind of talking as she's going along, but when we talk about the papers that we use religiously, it is the 9x12 sketch paper, which is pretty much opaque.
Yes.
It's the wet strength tissue, and now it's going to be this. Now the reason that this matters is because it doesn't have a grain, so it tears very differently than the wet strength tissue does. And I think that the wet strength tissue doesn't get quite as translucent as this does. And I don't think it vanishes quite as much. It would be a very minor difference, but it is worth noting because the paper tears very differently than the wet strength does.
Definitely. And it, you know, like I say this in the video, it kind of comes down to what you prefer. You know, everybody likes something different. Tomato.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you have Brooks. I have, what are they called? Hokas.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, that's what makes the world go round. So we thought we would experiment with this because we, like Barb said, I love Yasutomo's sketch rice paper pad. So since it was made by them, I thought, why not?
Right.
So here's, I'm going to show you how we did it, but here's, so this is adhered on top. This blue is adhered on top. So, and you can see right through it.
It's amazing.
I didn't expect it to be that transparent. Well, part of me did, but I mean, it is like, I cannot even see the paper here.
Yeah,
this is on an overlay. The dark blue is on an overlay, and even close up, you can't see it. So, and like Barb said, it tears in these nice, soft, feathery, organic edges like rice paper does.
Right.
So we can't wait to share it with you. Let's go share it with
All right, let's go play.
All right. So today we have been experimenting with that Usugami rice paper, which I was excited about when I first saw it because it's so thin that I was sure that it would be transparent in layered collage application. And when I show you this, you can see why I thought that, right? And that's not even glued, and you can see right through it. But what's nice about it is that it's a rice paper. So it tears kind of in a rice paper kind of way, which is a little bit more organic. It tears in kind of any direction. It doesn't have like, I don't know, I've been calling it a grain or like a line that will fight you. You can tear it in a circle, just like regular rice paper. It has a bit of a fuzzy edge, just like regular rice paper. So these qualities I appreciate because I love rice paper. So the fact that this is a very, very thin rice paper is kind of cool because it can be layered translucently. So it can be layered, like I stamped this here twice with two different colors. So in a layered collage process, you can layer colors over each other. Like if we glue this, it gets more translucent, completely transparent actually, and I'll show that in a minute. But you could see where you would actually be blending colors because when you use translucent colors on this, they visually blend. So we could be creating new colors almost if we were to glue the green, which is lighter, over the blue. Where they intersect, we would get a greenish blue color and we'd get this beautiful double pattern. So as far as transparency and layering in collage and the ease of tearing the edges and getting sort of the fuzzy edges and the rice paper effect, I felt like when I looked at it for the first time that it had a lot of possibilities. So Barb created this gel print for me, which is Halftone Dorothy being the polka dots and one of the new Klimt Scribbles and Doodles 2 collection of spirals on top with a pretty high contrast. We've got this kind of lime green on the bottom and some kind of a
turquoise blue,
turquoise blue on the top. So this is contrast to each other, plus it's got white showing through it. So there's a lot of busyness going on there that I want to take advantage of by laying one of these Klimt Scribbles and Doodles foam stamp designs that I stamped directly onto the rice paper, the Usugami paper, and then I'm going to glue it down over this so you can see how it glues down and you can see the transparency. So just to show you how the way I like to stamp this is I use the gel plate. And I'm going to be using a paint that you can see by that box right there that's half full, that this is half translucent. If the box is completely full, a black solid square, that means it's an opaque color that you cannot see through. If the box is totally open, it means it's a completely transparent color that you can see through all the way. And this is in the middle. So if you want to be able to see the blue through the green, you have to have a translucent color. If this color is completely opaque, meaning that it has a solid box on the paint, you won't see this color through it. You'll only see the lower color in the openings, but not through the opaque paint as much. So I'm working with a translucent paint so that I can see through the paint and through the paper. So we're gonna get a nice translucent layered effect. So I'm gonna put out some of this paint, and I just put it on the gel plate so I can create an area to get it onto the stamp pretty evenly. So I put the foam stamp right into it, and I'll press it a few more times because this is a little bit bigger than the palm of my hand. So sometimes the Baron is good to get the pressure out and around the edges. And then I'm gonna roll the excess from the brayer onto it. You want to make sure that you use the brayer, the gel plate, something flat. You don't want to get the paint down into the low negative areas, otherwise you don't get a good impression. You only want the paint on the high points. So that is achieved by applying it with something flat. Okay.
I'm going to take that out of the way.
Sure.
I can do that for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Vanna White. All right, so now we're going to put this onto the paper. And again, because it's bigger than the palm of my hand, I'm using my Baron to press it. With this being so thin, we can flip it over and see what we're going to get. And then you can see we have a nice print with that beautiful blue color that is partially translucent or partially transparent. What is the difference? Translucent allows some to be seen through, and transparent allows everything to be seen through.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
That's it. So, and we are half filled box. So we're in the translucent realm. Okay. So that color it's a cobalt blue. They're also calling it ultram, which is ultramarine, which is not the same color, but anyway.
I think is it maybe cobalt blue ultramarine? Is it a three-word name?
Maybe it's a mixture, but those are two different colors. But anyway, okay then. So this is going to lay over this print, and we're going to see the pattern through the paint and through the paper. So I'm going to use this one that I did a few minutes ago because we do need to let this dry. And because that's heavy body paint, we don't want to start gluing it right away because we'll smudge the blue. So we got to let that dry a little bit. So we've got this one that's ready to go. And I want to show you once again how easy it is to tear this paper in a curve and around kind of organic shapes. It's not only wanting to tear in one direction like some papers do. And, you know, for the record, there are a lot of different papers out there that can go translucent and can create that cool effect in layering in collage. We also have wet strength tissue that does that. I think it's just ultimately a personal preference in what you like best and what works best for you. So, you know.
The other thing too, I think, is that wet strength, wet strength tissue has a grain. And when you tear in one direction, it wants to tear in a straight line. And when you tear in the opposite direction is when it tears a little bit more wonky. This has no grain. So that's why I think you're being so successful creating your little circular areas there, because you're not fighting the grain.
Yeah, definitely not. It allowed me to tear a nice round edge. It's a nice organic edge, and it's gonna kind of disappear into this with our...
That's the empty bottle. That's the one you want.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put out some gel
is that
medium.
That's the clogged bottle. Isn't
Yeah.
that special?
Thank you for the clogged bottle.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sure there's more we can get out of this one.
Here.
There we go. All right. So we're going to brush this out in a big area because that's a big stamp.
All right, if you need more, I just pulled this.
You unclogged
spigot out
it?
Well, I didn't unclog it so much as I disassembled it. And now I have some gel medium in my mouth. We won't talk about the fact that I used my teeth.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's pretty close. So you want to make sure you have a good amount of it underneath everywhere. And
Go for the gusto.
yeah, you need to have a good amount of it because you want to be pushing that gel medium into the Usugami paper so that it goes translucent. So you want to get it, you know, push it through the paper. I'm applying pressure with this brush and I'm pushing that medium into the paper.
Look at how transparent that
look at how
became.
transparent that is. I mean, that's pretty darn cool. So have a look at that. That looks like it was stamped right on the paper. And you might say, why not stamp it right on the paper? But if this were my mixed media artwork, I could decide where I wanted it, which stamp I wanted by tearing it out, changing the color even. Maybe I look at it and say, I don't know if I like that blue. Maybe I want it to be hot pink. We can do what I call auditioning. So we can audition it and say, do I want it here? Imagine this is a mixed media painting and this is my background or a portion of it. I can say, do I want it here? Do I want it there? Do I want it this color? Do I want to change the color? So you get a lot of options for moving it around this way and determining where you want it or even if you want it. So here I'm going to put this one right here. And again, I'm going to get a decent amount of that gel medium and push it into the rice paper so that it goes right through, which isn't difficult because this is, what do we decide?
14 GSM.
14
It's very
GSM,
thin.
very thin. And then now we have the 2 on there. So the translucency of this in combination with the way that it tears organically and curvilinear, I love it.
It's very interesting paper. It's very different than virtually any other paper that you and I use with regularity, and including the regular Yasutomo rice paper, including the wet strength tissue. So
yeah,
it's nice to have options, and especially one that you can virtually see right through once it's applied.
Absolutely. And then there was one other, this green one. Like, let's talk about the fact that this is probably too weak of a color to hold up over some of what's down. So you do want to think about contrast as well. This stands out over all of that because it's darker. So it's a high contrast between, this is much darker than the teal or the green dots. So it stands out because of contrast. And this one is a lighter. Let's just take a section of this. And I'm going to show you the difference when you don't really have enough contrast. Now you may go for a more subtle effect. Maybe you don't want it to be this bold, but let's put a color that's lighter down. And you see that it kind of blends in. It definitely blends in. And it's a whole different effect on there than the dark blue. So you want to consider translucency and contrast of color when you're doing your transparent layers in collage. So that's all we have to say about that, Usugami. What did we learn that means? Tissue paper.
Light, thin or lightweight paper?
Yes.
Gami is paper, right?
Gami is paper, and like origami.
Right.
Gami is paper because we looked it up. And the usu means light or thin. So it's like a tissue rice paper.
Story
knew?
over, right? There you go. So now you know.
You learned something new.
It's another day. We learned something new.
Every day.
That's right.
All right, then. We'll see you back here next week with 7 new things to learn.